Hi, everyone. I am just going to check up on something. So I'm going to check my phone. So don't think I'm being distracted. But I am so excited to be live because I just opened doors for Aligned Action Mastermind. And Monique here just joined us.
Yeah.
Hi, Monique.
Hi.
And I wanted to just grab her. I'm just going to check everything to make sure this is working. If we're live. Yes, we're live. So I just wanted to have you hop on and just ask you a couple of questions. So Monique, what do you do?
So currently, I'm working in sales for a kind of a pharmaceutical, not necessarily pharmaceutical. How do I describe it? Just a prescription discount company. But I am actually building my career coaching business, and that's what I'm super, super, super excited about.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And just so you guys know too, Monique, actually, we've been working together in another capacity. She was in my Mindset Business Accelerator program and continued to work on in the Aligned Action. But what stood out for you with me as a coach? Why did you want to work with me? What have you enjoyed working with me in comparison to other coaches that you've worked with?
Yeah, so we've talked about this offline, so everybody's going to get, they're going to be treated to our private conversation. Biggest thing that drew me to working with you is that you weren't necessarily, are we doing a very sanitized version or not?
Go ahead, you could just be yourself.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
So, one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to work with you is I had worked with other coaches before, and a lot of it was automated. A lot of it was a lot of BS fluffy stuff. A lot of, build your dream client by building a Barbie, which is not my personality at all. And so when I had saw some of the stuff that you were doing and the ways in which you were talking about building a business, and, finding your niche and finding, figuring out your first launch and scaling, all that sort of stuff, that to me sounded like a legit program. It's not just like, oh, let's just, play dress up in house. I need some real effing ideas. And so it seemed like you had those. And that was just from the messaging that you had. That's what kind of resonated with me. We both have the grassroots organizer background. So of course I felt like, okay, this person probably understands my outlook. And it just kind of, grew from there. So we had that first conversation. And in that first conversation, I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I felt the same way too, right? And there's probably a lot of people on here where we had careers prior to starting our business where it was focused on meeting with people, right? Having coffee, lunch, connecting, listening. And then you get into the online space and it's like, WTF. Like there's funnels, there's all this stuff. And mind you, I have all of that. I have funnels, I do my own Facebook ads, but then it gets overwhelming and you're like, hold on, didn't I create this business to create transformation? Right?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to join the Aligned Action Mastermind?
So in the first group, in the first group that we worked together, I had a completely different idea of what I want my business to look like. I love working out, I love fitness. And I was like, okay, I want to do transformations. I want to help people, and kind of build that. And I wasn't that excited about what I had, initially thought was going to be my business. And so I couldn't figure out why. And then we had our follow-up conversation or our closeout conversation for that program. And then you asked me if I'd like to continue working with you as a coach. And I was like, yes, but I don't know if this is what I want to do. But I didn't express that to you at the time. I just was like, yeah. And then like I freaked out when I, made the payment. I was like, holy shit.
Because it's a lot more than it was before. Yeah.
And so that was actually probably the best thing that I could have done because it made me realize that I was going in the wrong direction. And I probably would have languished in that wrong direction had I not made the decision to level up in my coaching. So
that's actually one of the biggest strengths for any entrepreneur is being mindful and cognizant of, hold on, this is not the path I want to go. And actually, I want to do this instead. And because you made that decision and invested in yourself, why don't you tell them the incredible results you've already had?
So when I made
she just joined the
yeah.
mastermind.
So I made the shift to career coach, and I've had a couple people come to me and ask me to help them out. And then from that, I've been able to, get my first 2 clients. So I'm excited. This is pre-launch. I haven't put everything together yet. And, I'm still able to kind of, build people's resumes and give them career coaching to kind of get them from where they are to exactly where they want to be in their career. And my niche is not necessarily entrepreneurs. It's people who are in that 9-to-5 space because they sometimes feel a little left out, like, okay, this isn't what I really want, but I don't want to be an entrepreneur, but I want something different. And so I coach those people to get unstuck and figure out how to build their career within the framework of a 9-to-5, because some people do like that structure.
What was the biggest thing that you've learned from me so far?
I think just to pull the trigger, and honestly,
just wait, stop perfection and just go get it, right?
Honestly, that's one of my biggest things is I don't want to do certain things until they are absolutely, perfect, quote unquote, which I know that that's not a real thing. And then the other thing too is when you're in that sort of perfection loop, you're getting the feedback of the work, and you are not necessarily letting the feedback of the result guide you in the work. You're just excited about the work, and then it never gets done because it'll never be done. It'll never be done.
Yeah, it won't be done, and it's just not waiting for perfection. I'm pretty sure you felt this way too, but I think what happens when people get started, they feel like they need that shield. Like, for people that have watched Avengers Endgame, you understand it. Like, Thor has his hammer. Like, he can't go anywhere without his hammer, feeling powerful. And as an entrepreneur, I feel like in the beginning, it's like, I need that website and business card because then people will know I'm real. When in reality, it's not using the external of something to believe in yourself. It's actually within. And that's what happened with you, is you don't even have a website, funnel, or brochure. And it was just you talking about it, right? Does this resonate with you?
Yeah, and it's a different energy. When you're excited about what it is that you want to do, there's just a different energy that surrounds it. And we've talked about that too. And that's been something that I've definitely noticed. I've noticed a shift in how I discuss what I'm doing. There's not really that sort of, I used to see people online, they'd be like, oh, when you're aligned in your energy, it just feels this way. And I was like, oh, that sounds stupid. But it's true. When you are aligned with what you're trying to do, it does look a certain way and it feels a certain way. And there's a confidence and a presence that you kind of are able to step into that kind of guides you as well.
What advice would you have to anyone that's kind of on the fence, not sure about joining Aligned Action?
I honestly think that there's so many people out there who are kind of maybe tiptoeing around the fringes of being full in on their business. And I really feel like if they need that last push, or if they need that first push, they really need to join the program. And I say that, as someone who, if you would have asked me maybe 24, 72 hours before we had that conversation, I would have been like, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know. But having the conversation and then just, going all in, I was like, okay, this makes sense. And once I did that, it's crazy that it's called, Aligned Action, because, and I didn't even know it was called Aligned Action. I just knew it was your next program. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And literally that's what happened. It was, I got really in tune with what I wanted to do. And it just aligned with the things that I'm naturally good at and that I have a focus on, and I'm starting to take that action. And I'm like, okay, that's a great effing name.
And it just feels right? Like it just, and that's the most important thing. I always give the analogy of, when you're a kid, all you know is being a lawyer and doctor, right? And you have to go to med school, you have to go to law school. And then when you realize, hold on, I'm doing what everyone's telling me to do, and I didn't even know I could carve my own path. And that's what this is. Because that's what Monique and I have shared, is we got frustrated where, what the hell? Like, I was here to create transformation. I'm here to connect with people. And I don't see a lot of people doing that in this space, but
exactly.
Might as well just do it yourself. Why not? And do it in a way. And Monique hasn't even been in one of the group calls yet, but I'm so excited for you to just meet the other girls. And how excited are you with the caliber of the other girls that are in the group?
So I think that they're amazing. I haven't met them just yet, but I've kind of seen their bios. There's someone who's done TED Talks. There's someone who is, making 5 figures a month, and not just because of that, because of the monetary figure, but because they're doing what what they want to do, and they're helping people. I see everybody's posts. I see people putting everything that they're doing into action. I'm seeing people's, launch funnels and their freebies and all the things that I'm like, okay, these people are like badass. They're making it happen. And like, I have a lot to do as well. And I'm inspired by that. I don't feel as though it's a competition. I feel very inspired because I'm seeing other people who are able to move their business forward by, taking the advice and then just acting on it.
And there's an energy when you're around just people that are just top tier, like, oh my God, they're doing it. I can do it. And it's just like so believable. And I get to see you in San Diego next month, right?
I think so. Yes. You asked me about that a little earlier.
Yeah.
That is the plan. I have not been back to San Diego in 6 years or so, something like that.
So just so you guys know, as a bonus for the first 10, because I have 17 spots only for Aligned Action Mastermind, but for the first 10 people, I'm inviting to go to my one-day retreat with Selena Sue, who's my mentor, and she is the publicity strategist for online entrepreneurs. So, and plus you get to hang out with me if that's a bonus. But I haven't met Monique yet. I know we've been working together for this is going to be our 3rd month together. Yeah. So I'm so excited. Yeah. So I'm going to put details of the Aligned Action Mastermind below in the links below. And I would love for you to apply. I care about fit more than anything. I mean, Monique, you know this. I didn't push you to be part of it because it needs to feel aligned. Yeah. And if anything, I could refer you to other resources and people. So I'll put the link below. Yay! Awesome. Thank you so much, Monique, for spending. It's a Friday night there, right?
It is. I don't really have much.
Almost 6:30.
I'm gonna be working on my business because that's what you do. So yeah. But thanks for inviting me on.
Of course. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Monique.